Hi friends, welcome you all for today's session, Recruitment and Selection, 18 MBA HR 301, Unit 2, Hiring Decision, Session 3. So in this session, what are we going to ponder in this session? So the points to ponder are nature of hiring. So under nature of hiring, we are going to discuss meaning, definition, why do we classify employees, HR, operating department, and next employment types or hiring options. So these are the points to be pondered in today's session. Okay, so the very first, let's try to understand the meaning of hiring. So we're going to understand what is the general meaning of hiring. Okay, hiring is also called as a recruitment. Okay, so let's understand the definition and the meaning of hiring now. See, hiring is something, it's an act, what we can call, it's an act of giving someone a job. Hiring is what? It's an act, okay? It's an activity or an act of giving someone a job, okay? Who is going to give this job? Employer. And who is going to take the job? Employee, okay? A job provider and a job seeker. So this is what we try to understand the meaning here. Something, giving someone the job here. So who is that someone? Employer is giving a job to an employee, okay? After several interviews, okay, let's understand this way of example. After several interviews, okay, so before we just provide a job to someone, we do conduct various kinds of interviews, okay, and the CEO tells me that yes, you have been hired, okay, hired for dash position, any position, XYZ positions, and that is how you start up a work, okay. So very simple. So meaning is what? Something. This is an act of giving someone a job, that is by an employer, okay, he is giving a job to an employee, a job seeker and a job holder. Okay, now coming to the next is definition, okay, hiring definition. See, hiring definition is, it's an obtain the temporary use, okay, of something, okay, for an agreed payment. Remember, when I am just giving someone a job, okay, or employer, okay, is taking a new employee, okay, employer is taking a new employee, that too with agreed payment. So both of them have mutual understanding regarding to the compensation package or design, and finally it's an agreed payment, what both the parties come to an agreement or the contract. So this is what we can say one of the definition of hiring, that is you are obtaining, okay, the temporary use of something for an agreed payment. One more definition we can just discuss now. The practice of, it's a practice, what we can say, it is a practice of finding, okay, you find a suitable candidate or the potential promising candidate and you try to evaluate him, okay, and establishing a working relationship with future employees, okay, interns, the contractors or the consultants. It can be anyone, okay. So that is the other way of definitions what we can try to understand hiring definition. So the practice of, what is the practice of? What is the practice of? Finding, evaluating and establishing a working relationship with future employees, interns, contractors or consultants. Okay, so here in this box we have tried to understand the meaning of hiring and the definitions of hiring here. Okay, now moving to the next topic, that is why do we classify employees? Why there is a classification of employees? So very simple. See, the companies start classifying the employees, okay, before they start recruitment or hiring, they try to classify the employees on what classification the companies are hiring. That we can call it as an employment types or hiring options. That has to be finalized. See here, it's a kind, what we can say, the company has a policy of maintaining appropriate classification of employees. Every company, every organizations, they have a policy of maintaining a classification of employees. Okay, why they do that? Because to make sure that all, okay, the legal requirements are maintained. So why? Because the classification of employees are done so that companies are meeting the legal requirements. Okay, so that there is no discrimination in terms of benefits, okay, plan eligibility or payment of compensation, etc. So this is the reason why companies start classifying the employees. So very simple. One is later part there will be no discrimination regarding to the nature of hiring, whatever they're doing. It's very clear, okay, for which positions, what is the package, a compensation design or the benefits, eligibility benefits given to the based on the classification of employees. So this is the purpose why organization classify employees. Also, they want to meet up the federal and state laws. Also, the companies want to meet up the federal and state laws. See, the purpose of this procedure of classification of employees, okay, for benefits plan eligibility. By classification, we come to know the benefit plan eligibility, who are eligible for what kind of benefits. Suppose if it is a permanent employee, so what are the benefits he is eligible for? If he is probationary, is he eligible for certain benefits or not? Same way Badli, temporary, casual, apprentice, etc., etc. So this classification gives us a very clear picture regarding to the design of the compensation package for them as well as designing the benefits for them. Okay. Again, there is a question, okay, for questions regarding classification of this employees for the purpose of wage laws. Again, you got various laws are there, okay. So wage laws, minimum wages act, compensation acts, okay. So what I can say is, if you want for the further information regarding to this classification of employees, you can also refer wages and overtime compensation act. Okay, wage laws, you got various laws are there. I've taken one more laws here, Industrial Employment Act 1946, standing orders, we also call it as a standing orders. Even this act brings about the classification of employees there. So that's what the question regarding to this, okay, the question regarding to this classification of employees, we can also refer to the various laws in the labor laws, okay. One is the wage laws we can take, or employee classification procedures where wage and overtime compensation. So various kinds of laws are there. So further we can go with that. Okay. And coming to this, the classification, who does this classification? HR. Okay. Who does this? Human resource. So human resource department will classify employees in accordance to the following procedures. They have got certain procedures in the department, okay, and they ensure that all appropriate employees, okay, appropriate employees are offered appropriate benefits. Remember that? So this is usually done by HR, human resource department, okay, keeping in mind what? So they want to ensure that all appropriate employees, it can be any classification with respect to any classification of employees, they are offered the appropriate benefits, whomever they are enrolled opportunities. Okay. So how is HR department classifying? So here comes the operating department. So this operating department managers, they are responsible for advising human resource department and they are requesting for the manpower supplies or the position supplies or the classification of workers. Okay, once it has been specified for them, so HR department is going to start looking for the people or hiring the people, recruiting the people. So operating department managers are responsible for advising in creating a post or designing the post, okay, and these people are going to communicate HR department and requesting the changes in the status, that is the classification of workers. Okay. Now coming to the next box here, we are going to try to understand employment types. What are the various types of employment and or hiring options? Okay. That is the main thing here. Nature of hiring. Nature of hiring is nothing but it speaks about on what basis you are hiring. What are the various hiring options or employment types. Okay, now let's take one by one. The very first one is permanent workman. Okay, permanent employees we call. See here, he is a one. How do we understand this permanent workman definition? It's very simple again. He is a one who has been employed on permanent basis. So he has been taken on permanent basis, or we can call him as a full-time permanent. Okay, or who has been confirmed in writing. Okay, this permanent employee or the workman has been confirmed in writing, or who has completed the probationary period of 3 months. Remember, again what we can say is this permanent employee, he is a person who has completed the probationary period of 3 months. So this is how we try to understand the definition of permanent workman. So permanent workman is a person who has been employed on permanent basis, or who has been confirmed in writing, or who has completed the probationary period of 3 months. Okay. Now moving to the next one, probationary workman. Who is this probationary workman then? See, probationary workman is one who is employed provisionally and who has not completed 3 months of service. Okay, so probationary is already it's saying is a provisionally recruited. Okay, that means a casual basis, what we can say. So probationary workman is one who is employed provisionally and is a person who has not completed his service of 3 months. Okay, now coming to the Badli workman. See, Badli workman is one who is appointed to the post of either a permanent or a probationary workman, okay, who is temporarily absent. If these two people, permanent, probationary, okay, people are absent, and then a Badli employee is going to come, okay, in picture whenever those people are absent, temporarily absent. Okay, so what we can understand, Badli worker is one who is appointed to the post of permanent or a probationary workman place who is temporarily absent. Okay, now moving to the next one, temporary workman. Who is the temporary workman? See, temporary workman is one who is appointed for initial period or a limited period. Temporary basis, temporary nature. Okay, who is essential for a temporary nature or who is employed temporarily as an additional workman. We can also call him as an additional workman in connection with temporary increase in the work of permanent nature. Say whenever there is a workload more or production process more, what do we do on a temporary basis? We are hiring this temporary workman. So his nature is what? Is for the limited period and is for the temporary basis. Okay. And now moving to the next hiring option, casual workman. See, casual workman is one who is employed for the work which is essentially of a casual nature. Again, it's of a casual nature and is been recruited for only for that particular limited period again. So very similar to your temporary workman, casual. Okay. And next, what we can say is all these three, Badli, temporary, casual, they're all like something like a limited period, limited term. And now coming to next one, apprentice. So apprentice workman. So he is a person, we call him as a learner and who has not completed training period of 1 year. So apprentice, okay, generally we call him as a trainer, okay, or a learner. He is under training period, okay, a learning period, and who has not completed the training, okay, period of 1 year, and that person we call him as a apprentice workman. So this classification of workman, okay, is done, that is Industrial Employment Act 1946. According to Industrial Employment Act 1946 or the standing orders, this has been explained. The classifications are explained this way: permanent, probationary, Badli, temporary, casual, apprentice. So once again, I'll just repeat briefly what do you mean by all these things here now. See, permanent workman, as the name itself says, permanent. So the employee, his nature of recruitment is based on permanent, okay, permanent basis, and it has been written, okay, confirmed in written, and has completed the probationary period of 3 months. Okay, see, this probationary period usually it varies from companies to company, so don't get confused. Some companies consider like 1 year, some companies consider 2 years, okay, but according to this act, what it says is 3 months of probationary period. If he has completed 3 months, we say he is a permanent employee, we generally say, according to the act, okay. And probationary workman, okay, he's a provisionally, he's been recruited and who has not completed 3 months of his service. That way we can understand. And badli worker, in absence of these two people, permanent probationary, so badli is being recruited, okay, he comes into the filling of those people absentees for a time being, okay. It can be for a day or it can be for a week, something like that. And next, temporary workman. Temporary workman, as the name itself indicates, it's again for the limited period, okay, temporary basis. And next, coming to the casual, again it is of casual nature. The recruitment is of casual nature. And apprentice, he is a learner, okay, apprentice workman, we call him as a learner, and who is in the training period of, who has not completed the training period of 1 year. So all these classification or the types of employment is according to this act, and we call this as Industrial Employment Act or the standing orders. Okay, few more to understand this concept of nature of hiring. We have got few more sources or the types of hiring here. So we go with here. It is regular hiring. We call regular hiring. Again, in regular hiring, we have two types: full-time, part-time. Temporary hiring, again you have two types, that is temporarily full-time, temporarily part-time. And next, contractual. So we hire some of the employees on contract basis. Outsourcing, existing post or the new post, remote employees, gig workers, freelancers. So these again, these are also hiring options. So let's understand what this says all about. Okay, now regular hiring. Regular hiring is again a kind of permanent. So employees on permanent basis, something which is written again. Okay, so here how are we trying to understand here is two ways. One is regular hiring full-time. Regular hiring full-time is a person who works for 8 hours per day. He is working for what? 8 hours in a day. That is somewhere Monday to Friday. Regular basis. Okay, he is working 8 hours in a day, Monday to Friday on a regular basis, and he is being expected to be an employee at least for 1 year. He should be an employee at least for 1 year, so that he is going to avail all the institution benefits. Okay, like it can be the paid time off. Example, he gets a security, okay, wait, once again, not security, that's an example what I just mean here. For regular hiring full-time, what we can understand is examples are like security, okay, marine people, aviation, all these things. Okay, they are basis for like availing for 1 year, at least for 1 year, what we say specify here, that way. See again, the thing is, these classification, only thing is generally it gives a clear picture. Why do we classify employees? We already told, so that it becomes very easy for HR department or organizations to give to design their compensation or to give the benefits to them. Okay, so same way here, regular full-time employee is a person who is on the regular basis. Okay, 8 hours per day he works, Monday to Friday, what we can say, and is on regular basis, and we expected him, that is to be like at least for 1 year of service, so that he tries to get all institutional benefits. He is availing all the benefits, okay, and all the even the paid week holidays also. Okay, now coming to the regular part-time. What is this regular part-time? See, regular part-time is this here the person or an employee is working for 20 hours per week. 20 hours but not less than 30 hours. So 20 to 30 hours is working, okay, in a week. And now a regular basis. Is also on regular basis only, but is not eligible for institutional benefits. Okay, but he comes under the coverage of all the accident benefits. He gets accident coverage benefits, paid time off, okay, sick, vaccination, holidays, all these things he gets, not other benefits. So one thing is, here what we can understand is the two differences in the full time. One is the hours of working year. Here again hours of working year, you have all the benefits here, whereas you have few restricted benefits for him. Okay, so here a regular part-time, what it says is, here this employee is going to work like 20 hours to 30 hours in a week. Okay, not less than 30 hours. He is also on regular basis, but is not eligible for all the institutional benefits. Very few benefits he gets like that. Very naming few, like accident coverage, okay, paid time off, sick benefits, vacations and holidays. Okay, now coming to the next, temporary. Temporary is something like, we can call this, we already discussed here, temporary. Okay, temporary full-time, again temporary part-time. We can classify again into two that. See, temporary full-time is something again where employee is going to work 8 hours per day. Is going to work 8 hours per day. Okay, again he is going to work Monday to Friday, and employees, he should at least 3 months, not less than 1 year. He should be what? If it is not less than 1 year, at least continuous 3 months he should be there in the work. Whereas here what we said for the regular full time, 1 year. Okay, at least 1 year of service. Here it is at least 3 months in not less than 1 year full time. Okay, and here he gets paid vacations. Okay, he's going to get the paid vacations, holidays, sick benefits, maternity benefits, leaves. Okay, example what we can say is like technical staff, okay, for any projects or scientific, you know, we go for some projects work. Once the project is over, we just disperse. Okay, so that we can say that example. So here temporary part-time, so sorry, temporary full-time we discuss. Okay, temporary full-time is what? Temporary full-time speaks all about, here a person is working 8 hours per day, okay, Monday to Friday we assume, and employ at least for 3 months and not less than 1 year, and he gets some of the benefits like he gets the paid vacations, holidays, sick benefits, maternity leaves. Examples we took, that is a scientific and technical staff for the projects work what we just take it. And same way we come to the next one is contractual. See, contractual is something where we are trying to hire employees based on contract basis. Okay, like contract for 1 year, contract for 2 years, and once if we feel yes this people are doing good, again what we do, we renew the contract. Okay, that way through a third party. Okay, through a third party we are recruiting. Okay, and again in the contractual, the workers, okay, they get certain, not all the benefits, not all the institutional benefits, very few benefits they are entitled. Okay, and outsourcing, again outsourcing is also kind of recruiting a person or hiring a person, where again it is from the third party. Okay, it's been outsourced, so just to save the costs and the time, we are just approaching a third party person. Okay, we can also call the consultant consultancy. Consultancies are nothing but again the outsourcing people only. So through them we are hiring the people. Okay, again it's all on the restriction basis. Okay, depending on again the people whom we are trying to hire, the benefits varies. Existing post or new post, again what we can say that existing post we can just redesign, or we can also create the new post. That is also one of the classification of employment. And next comes remote employees. So remote employees is what? So remote employees is something he is working like a far place. Remote employees is a person who is working in a far place, what we can say. Okay, he is not like we can say the location matters here. Okay, remote employees. Vast number of employees now they are working remotely because of this pandemic situation. Okay, people are working at home, become remote places, what we can say. So that is one way of, again, we can say that option, hiring option. Okay, today most of the companies are also going with this kind of hiring option. Okay, where people are not coming to the place. Okay, what we say, they work at home or something like that. And so in some areas where they stay, they start working. Okay, and like for example, like we can say the production engineers or employees. Okay, even few employees of the organizations also. And coming to the next, gig workers. What is this gig workers speaks about? See, gig workers are again, they are the independent contractors. What we can say, they are the independent contractors who generally perform like online workers, okay, contract firm workers, on-call workers, okay, temporary workers. So we can classify in that them. Okay, gig workers are. Okay, gig workers are. We can call them as a temporary workers, we can call them, or on-call workers, or who are working on like online platform workers, okay, independent contractors we can say. And even companies are going with this kind of recruitment to the clients, okay, either through outsourcing people or consultancy people they are going. And next one comes the freelancer. See, freelancer, as the name itself spells here, freelance, or the freelance is something who is available, like the worker is a freelance worker here, that is commonly like who is self-employed. We can say he's a self-employed person and not necessarily committed to any particular employer. Okay, whereas all this other classification, what we said, there is a commitment, okay, between the two parties. There is an agreement, that's what we said, agreed payment. Whereas in the freelance, he is a self-employed and not necessarily is committed to a particular employee for a long term or with any organization for any long term. So that's the way we call him as a freelancer. Okay, and again, some of the companies goes with this freelancing job, whereas for the temporary agencies they are doing it. Okay, so these are the extra what I just gave for you. Okay, according to this act, you try to understand this classification of employment types. With that, you try to understand this regular hiring, temporary hiring. Okay, with that contractual, outsourcing, existing post or the new post, and these are the extra what it was given to you. Okay, I think in this session we have tried to understand nature of hiring, starting from meaning, definitions, why do we classify employees and who is doing that, okay, from whom we are getting this request, then we come to the hiring options. So see you soon in the next session. Thank you very much.